Allow yourself to acknowledge the moment of the beginning of your practice. The moment of relaxing the spine. The moment of having opportunity to observe the pace of your breathing. First of all, finding the long exhale. Allow your inhale to expand the lungs at full capacity. Maybe gradually go and deepen your breath. Allowing yourself to connect to sensation out there. Inhale on the cold air. The exhale, the warm air vibrating in the throat. Start adding the movements and the toes and fingers. And we'll take the arms above the head and bring the heels and toes together and take a deep stretch and take a deep inhale and exhale through the mouth. And let's release the arms and bring your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. Massaging the lower back. And then allow yourself to roll from the head to the hips a couple of times. And then just come into seated position and then roll into the tabletop position. Spreading up your hands, shoulder width apart, knees hip distance apart. And let's round the spine. Hold here for the moment. Hold a couple of breaths here. Maybe you even shake the head. Turn the head from side to side, and then let's drop the belly. And take the chin up and roll the shoulders back. And think of squeezing the shoulder blades. Getting your thoracic spine into extension. And then let's tug the tailbone and hold the belly in and push the floor. Inhale. And from here you will go one direction and the other direction. But don't rush. Go slowly. Allow yourself to feel every part of the spine. Think of 3 curves you have. The lower back and the neck able to go quite easy for both positions. Into extension and flexion, fold forward and back bend. But thoracic spine, this is something that we'd like to force a bit into the back bend. So you would feel the shoulder blades working here. And go in the last time, both directions, and then come into neutral. And let's step the hands forward, tuck the toes, and come all the way into the downward dog. And as you found your downward dog, just first take a look on your palms and find a comfortable way. So the center of your palm is not flat. And then just try to separate your fingers, but don't force them too wide. Just hold them where it's comfortable. And your middle finger, index finger, one of them should be parallel to the side of the mat. Whatever feels comfortable. Make sure that your wrists are not turned in or not turned out. And from here, you will bring your gaze to the belly or to your thighs, trying to release the head and feel a bit of a stretch of the neck. Maybe even shake your head. Make sure that you're not tensing the back of the neck. And let's drop the knees down to the floor. Exhale. Reset your hands to have them under your shoulders and find your awareness of the front of the body. Your lower back is in neutral position. Neck is parallel to the floor. Let's tuck the toes and take the knees off the floor. 1 inch only. And push the floor. So you're pushing the floor with your palms. You're pushing the floor with your toes. And maintaining neutral spine. Try not to collapse with the space between the shoulder blades. Press it up more. Yes. And hold your pelvis in neutral position. And then drop the knees down to the floor. And come to the child's pose. You can separate the knees a little bit wider if you need so. And just walk your fingers forward. So try to find the same sensation of the stretch of the sides of the body that you would like to feel in your downward dog. And then look forward, press the palms, tuck the toes and come to a downward dog. Exhale. Try to find this neutral spine. The knees could be bent first. Trying to use your upper body. Think of building the strength of the upper body to hold your downward dog. Don't worry about your heels. The lower back, that's what is important for us. And let's drop the knees down to the floor again. Again, reset your hands to be under the shoulders. And let's extend the right leg back. And again, we're going to push the floor. And we'll take the left thigh to the chest. And hold here, finding the lower abdomen, holding the legs. So try not to move your shoulders back. Still moving slightly forward, slightly to the tip of the toes. And release the knee down to the floor. Let's change. Extend the left leg. Push the floor and take the thigh up. Push the floor. Try not to drop your head. You don't want to look in between your palms. You look forward and try not to be high with your hips. Think of the plank position. And then bring the knee down to the floor. And let's step both feet back and come to the full plank. And you're holding the plank, being aware of using of the both legs, of your upper arms. Again, make sure that it feels like you are coming more forward. And hold the belly in. Try to think of tightening the tailbone under a bit. And come to downward dog. Exhale. Lengthening. So when you have your hand under the shoulders. You're coming slightly to the front on the tippy toes, and then you come to downward dog. That will be your distance between your hands and your feet. On next inhale, let's bend the right knee and step forward into lunge. Let's drop the left knee down to the floor first. And just find nice stretch in the left quadricep, and then we'll bring the hands to the knee and lift the chest. And think of the opening of the chest. We will interlace the hands behind the back, holding elbow to elbow. Engage the abdomen here, and with that, push the legs down. So create the space, create the support, and lift the chest. And an exhale, bring the hands on the floor, tuck the left toes and step into downward dog. Exhale. Step your left foot forward, drop the right knee down to the floor. First, just find a comfortable stretch here, and then bring the hands to the left knee. Reset here, make sure that the hips, legs create the support, and start lifting the chest, and then interlace the hands behind the back, and continue with a gentle back bend. But this back bend feels like a stretch of the front of the body, not collapse to the lower back. And let's exhale, hands come to the side of the left foot and step back into the downward dog. Exhale. On exhale, look forward, come into plank. And then drop the knees and come to the floor. Let's slide the hands a bit forward and wider than your shoulders. Point the toes and lift the chest. Don't go high. Again, think of the front of the body stretch. Don't collapse. Don't compress the lower back. Lift the chest. Create a space between the hips and the rib cage. Think of someone else pulling your toes opposite direction. The front of the body stretching. And then exhale, come down. Bring the hands on the both sides of the rib cage. Forearms perpendicular to the floor. Tuck the toes, chin to the chest. Push the floor. Exhale, come into the downward dog. On exhale, step your right foot forward. Drop the left knee down to the floor again. Bring the left hand inside the right foot. Bring the right hand to the right side and just gently twist. So something that feels good, something that feels comfortable. Look above your right shoulder. Try to let your left hip to come forward to create some stretch in the hip flexors. And let's release the hands to the floor. This time you tuck your left toes. Reset the distance. Hold here in the high lunge. Bring the hands on the hips and take your torso up. Ground yourself. Push the floor with both feet, and let's take the arms up. Inhale. Reach up. Lift the chest. Allow today a bit of a space on the front of the body. Try to keep your front knee 90 degrees. Back leg is supporting you. On exhale, bring the hands in front of the chest. Palms together. And let's twist to the right. Unfold. Bring the hands to the floor. Step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, step your left foot forward. Drop the right knee to the floor. Bring the right hand inside. Bring the left hand to the side. And twist the way that feels good, feels comfortable. Help yourself with the left hand to twist more. And then release and twist. Tuck the right toes and take the knee off the floor. Readjust the distance if you need. Bring the hands over the hips and come up. Find your strong legs. When you're finding the balance, take your arms up. Reach up to the sky. Create the space on the side of the body and on the front of the body, lifting the chest up. Bring the palms in front of your chest and twist to the left. So just a twist, without force, just like that. Torso still up. So try to keep your spine perpendicular to the floor. And unfold, hands on the floor, step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look to your toes and and walk your hands toward the toes. Reset your feet hip distance apart. Bring your hands just below the knees. Press the hands to the shins and come to half fold. Neck is parallel to the floor. Let your stitching bones to come out. Keep your neutral spine. And take your arms to the side. Hold here. Feel how you're holding yourself on the strong legs. And then unfold from the hips up, reach. And palms through the center. Return to the sides of the hips. Exhale. Let's do the full sun salutation from here. Inhale, reaching up. Palms together. Stick your stitching bones out. Exhale, fold. Hands on the shins. Inhale, lengthening. Body weight comes to the toes. Bring the hands to the floor and walk into the plank. Hold the plank. Push the floor away. Then come slightly to the front of the tippy toes and drop the knees and come all the way down to the floor. This time hands remain on the sides of the rib cage. Point the toes. Inhale, lift the chest. Chin to the chest and exhale. Come into downward dog. Hold the downward dog for 5 breaths. Keep space on the top of the shoulders. Try not to create tension. Think of external rotation of the arms. Find more of the triceps work. Try not to walk your elbows. Think of internal rotation of the forearm, external rotation of the upper arms. Working with the upper arms. On next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Bring the big toes together, hands on the shins. Come into the half fold. Arms to the side and unfold all the way up, reach. And palms through the center, return to the sides of the hips. Exhale. Let's inhale, reach up. Palms together, exhale, fold forward. Hands on the shins, neutral spine, hands on the floor. Step your left foot back. Bring your hands to the hips, come up. And take your arms to the side. And let's open the palms up. Feel external rotation of the shoulders. And bring your gaze up to the sky. Think of a bit of the open chest. Lifting that while you ground it. On exhale, bring the hands back to the center. Bring them to the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, step your left foot forward. Set your legs. Bring the hands on the hips, come up. Don't rush. Find the support. Find your legs. Hold the front of the body, supporting your lower back. Don't let your ribs come forward. And then take your arms to the side. And again, let's rotate the palms and then lift the gaze. So you don't need to take your chin too high and compress the back of the neck. It could be just your gaze up. The neck could remain in neutral position. Think of the opening of the chest. Hands can return back to the center. Bring the hands to the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward, come into plank. Hold the plank and then move forward. Drop the knees and go chaturanga all the way to the floor. Point the toes. Press the hands and lift the chest. So you don't need to come high. Shoulders are not elevated. You squeeze the shoulder blades into the thoracic spine. Chin to the chest, round the spine, scoop the belly. Exhale into the downward dog. Have 2 breaths here, right away. Try to find your neutral spine. If you need, bend your knees. Look on your toes and walk back toward your toes. All the way, bend your knees. Find the body weight distributed equally. Bring the hands to the shins, look forward, and then start bringing the body weight to the heels. Lift to the chest. Slide your hands to touch your knees. So make sure you're here on one line, so you're not having your shoulders in front of the knees, and take your arms parallel to the floor. Hold the Utkatasana. Knees and toes the same distance. Keep controlling your lower back, so you're not allowing the tailbone to be tucked. Neutral. And then all the way up, reach, and palms through the center, return to the sides of the hips. Exhale. Let's again set your sitting bones out, bring the body weight to the heels. Take your arms parallel to the floor. Inhale. Bring the palms together. Bring the body weight to your toes and bring the hands just on the shins. Press them to the shins and come half fold. Bring the hands to the floor and walk to the front of the mat. All the way. Hold your plank here. And I'll try not to move your shoulders and hips. Bend your right knee and reach to the right elbow. Hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come all the way to the downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, come into plank. Make sure shoulders above the palms. And bring your left knee to your left elbow. Squeeze it high. Hold for 1. Look forward. Don't look down. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come all the way back into the downward dog. On next inhale, look forward, come into plank, and come your way down to the floor. Point the toes, press the hands, lift the chest into your way of practice the back bend. Chin to the chest, exhale, come into the downward dog. On next inhale, step your right foot forward and then pivot your left heel, slide the heel back as far as it's comfortable. Walk your hands to the left. Bring the hands to the hips and lift your torso into the warrior 2 position. Have your hips parallel to the floor, front knee above the heel. Take your arms to the both direction of the room. Bring your gaze to the middle right finger. Keep pushing the front knee forward. Try to keep the front of the body in. Think of this external rotation of the shoulders we practice. Lift everybody. Turn the palms up to the ceiling. Keep lifting the chest. Keep stretching the chest. And let's bring the front knee straight. And maybe adjust the stand a little bit closer. Let's move the hips to the left and go with the right arm as far as you can go and still having the palms facing the front, the north wall. You're coming into the triangle and keep working on this open chest sensation. If you have a tension in your left shoulder, keep your left hand on the lower back. So you might set your stand a little bit closer if you need. On next exhale, bend your front knee, come back into warrior 2. Maybe you need again to go a little bit wider. And then drop the left hand to the left side. Turn the right palm toward the ceiling and take it up and your way to come into the reverse warrior. Lifting the chest. So try not to fall on your lower back. Don't collapse in the back leg. Very light touch with your left hand. It's all about your legs. And making a huge circle with the left arm, step into downward dog. Exhale. You're welcome just to hold your downward dog or go through the full vinyasa. Coming into plank, lowering chaturanga, inhaling. And exhaling or just hold the downward dog. Stepping the left foot forward, pivoting the right heel and walking your hands to the right. Bring the hands to the hips, coming up into the warrior 2. When you're ready, extend your arms to the both direction of the room. Finding the front knee, controlling the hip, and try not to extend ribs in. And again, let's turn the palms up to the ceiling. And trying to keep the sensation of the open chest. Don't allow the knee to fall in. Find your inner thigh. Those small muscles that are inside the thigh are very lazy. I want to find them to hold their thigh in their position to keep the knee above the heel. Let's bring the front knee straight and maybe slide a bit closer. Then move the hips to the right. Go with the left arm as far as you can go. Windmill your arms and continue to work with this sensation of external rotation of the shoulders. Keeping the chest open. Going up and down with the tip of the fingers. Finding your strong legs. Try not to drop the head. Think of the neck as the part of the spine. And you want to keep your spine parallel to the floor. And bend your left knee and come into the warrior two, maybe sliding the back heel a little bit further, and then drop the right hand to the side and come into the reverse triangle. Sorry, it's reverse warrior. And just lift the chest. Think of squeezing the shoulder blades. Still working with the legs. Still having this front knee bent. And then making a huge circle with the right arm and stepping into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, drop the knees down to the floor. And step your right foot forward. So you're not coming into wide lunge and you come up. So something here that you might need to do is to walk the right foot a bit out, so you will be more stable here. And you are in neutral spine position, taking the arms parallel to the floor, and you twist to the right. So the hips will be locked here, and you explore the ability of the spine to go into rotation. So it might be limited. You might feel that you're compensating with a tension in the right shoulder. So think of external rotation of the right shoulder. Keeping this open chest. And let's return back to the center. Release the eyes. Let's change the legs. Step the left foot forward. Again, maybe you need to be a little bit wider from the midline with your left foot, so you have this stable support. Neutral spine, arms parallel to the floor, you twist to the left. Thinking of coming with the right arm toward the window and with the left arm toward the door, and just reaching to the both direction. Try not to allow yourself to fall to the right. And drop this hip, length here, and twist. External rotation of the right shoulder. Coming back to the center, bring the hand on the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. Just let your spine come back to normal from the twist, and then look forward, come into plank. Keep your shoulders above the palms, and this time you bend your right knee and direct to the left elbow across, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way back. Exhale. Coming back into plank. Bend your left knee and go with the knee to the right elbow, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back into the downward dog. Exhale. Dropping the knees down to the floor and come to the child pose. Around your spine, relax the shoulders, relax the palms. Drop the hips. Keep soft shoulders. And we're coming into the tabletop position, from which we progress to the side plank. facing the right side of the room. You're welcome to choose any variation. I'm showing you the easiest, the first progression. You turn on the left knee, you extend the right leg, you keep your left shoulder above the left palm, taking the right arm up, flex the right foot, hold here. Don't extend, keep the ribs in. You can touch and find that those muscles here are working. You're welcome to bend the right knee and extend the left leg, keeping the left foot flat, or come to the full side plank. Choose the option, choose the progression that suits you today, and hold another 3 breaths. Keep the leg straight, flex the foot. Think of pulling the, pulling the leg and hold this here. And release. You come back to the tabletop position, and we go opposite side. So you are turning on the knee, extending the left leg, taking the left arm up, flexing the left foot and hold the leg up. Or going bent knee, straight right leg, or the full. Holding here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to the child pose just to give your wrist some stretch, some rest. Relax the shoulders at the same time, and again come to the downward dog. And in this downward dog, you will step your toes together. And then we'll take the right leg all the way up. Point the toes. Try not to rotate the hip. Hold your shoulders and hips square. And then look outside of the right palm and step your right foot there, wide. Drop your left knee down to the floor. Reset your hands to be under the chest and walk your foot a little bit further, maybe turning 45 degrees, and then think of the rotation of the hip out. You can stay on the straight elbows, or you might bring the forearms to the floor, release the head. You're welcome at the same time, tap the left toes and take the knee off the floor if you wish. Finding a deeper stretch for the hips, so be where you need to be. Probably if you are with the straight arms, you're not turning to the outer foot, just have it here firm and just opening the hip. Here, 5 more breaths. You're welcome to drop the knee down anytime if you're holding the leg straight. And then we'll drop the left knee and reset your foot back to the center and find the way back to the downward dog. Then in downward dog, you are bringing the toes together again and take your left leg up, having your hips square, shoulders square, and then look forward and step your left foot outside of the left palm, turning it out. Dropping first the knee down to the floor. Reset your hands. You want to have your hands supporting you under the shoulders, and then you're opening the hips, so finding the rotation. And you can stay, or here, maybe you're welcome to come to the forearms. Relax the head. The other progression is to tuck the toes and take the knee off the floor. Hold here. Breath. And when you're ready, release and come to the downward dog. welcome to go through vinyasa or hold downward dog. So coming into plank, lowering yourself down. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, pushing yourself back to downward dog. On next inhale, we'll look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the shins and come into half fold. And then take the arms to the side and unfold all the way up. Inhale. And palms through the center or return to the sides of the hips. Exhale. Then step the right foot back so we will face the south wall. And we'll turn the toes in, having the hands on the hips. We'll go to the several variation with this fold forward. So inhale, lift the chest and from the hips. Fold forward and bring your palms to the floor. Trying to bring your palms behind the line that you can draw from big toe to big toe. Keep your palms parallel to each other. Bend your elbows back parallel to each other. And just take your head down toward the floor. Try not to lock your knees. If you need, have your knees slightly bent. And try not to be on your heels. Completely release the head down. Make sure your palms are parallel to each other, and ideally you want to bend elbows back. So think of the forearms perpendicular to the floor. It's like you want to pull the floor towards the head. And then bring the hands to the hips. Look forward, neutral spine. You can have your knees bent and come all the way up. Inhale. Keep your toes in the same position. Take inhale, arms to the side, and then interlace the hands behind the back. Bring the shoulder blades together. Inhale, and let's exhale. Come into fold. Again, trying to reach the floor and take the arms as far as they can go. Keep rotating the arms inward and squeeze the shoulder blades. Try not to be locked on your heels. Slightly roll forward. Ideally, you want to have your hips and heels on one line. And release the hands back, look forward, neutral spine, and come all the way up. Inhale. So have one more variation. Inhale, arms to the side, open the chest. Exhale, hands back to the hips. Lifting the chest and folding forward. This time to you reach to your big toes. Hold your big toes with 3 fingers. Like you want to pull the toes off the foot. And then bend your elbows and using slightly of the biceps strength. You will get your head down to the floor. Don't create tension on the top of the shoulders. Relax the top of the shoulders, but use the biceps. Think of holding your wrist perpendicular to the floor so you will be able to use the biceps. And then release the toes, bring the hands to the hips, look forward, and come all the way up. Inhale, and step to the front of the mat. Come to mountain pose. Bring the big toes together, or if it's more comfortable for you, you can have your feet parallel to each other, have the arms on the both sides of the hips. Neutral spine. Close your eyes. Allow yourself to find your breath. Note how you're using your legs, how you're distributing the weight, and think of a little bit different support. I just found this description, this cues on one of the video of Pilates instructor. So think of pressing the big toe, outer edge of your feet and center of your heel. And think of activating the arch. And see what happens. So big toe, the whole outer edge of the feet and center of your heel. And see if that's going to help you to be grounded and be supported. And let's open the arms and we'll practice the tree pose. Bring the body weight to the left foot. Bend your right knee and open the knee to the side. Have your foot anywhere, on the ankle, on the cuff, or above the knee. Neutral spine, hands in front of your chest. Focus on the spot in front of you. That is not me. Think of the length. the right hip back. Think of the rotation and working inside. And return your foot back and release the arms. Shake the legs. And let's work on the other side. Bring the body weight to the right foot. Bend your left knee and open the knee to the side. Keep your hips square. And bring hands in front of the chest. You're welcome to let your tree grow. Taking the arms above the head. Back in front of the chest and release, shake the legs. Let's work on the opposite rotation of the hip. We'll practice the Narajasana dancer pose. So bend your right knee and reach to the foot with the right hand. Reach with the left arm up. And from here, try not to go to the side. Go with the knee back. Push the foot against the palm and progress with the toe up. Keeping the chest lifted. Think of creation of a space between the hips and the rib cage. Try not to hold your breath. Make sure you're still having your nice and long breathing. Come with the knees together. And then release. Shake your legs. And let's practice the other side. So you will bend the left knee, reach. Ideally, you want to have the palm facing the ceiling. And take the arm up. Hold here. Find first your balance. And then you will progress. Try not to follow the right arm. You want to keep your right palm on the level of the eye. And then you bring your knee back first, and then release. And we'll step to the front of the mat. We'll come through one more vinyasa, and we'll come to the floor. Make toes together, arms on the both sides of the hips. Let's inhale, lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, step back into the plank. Lower yourself down. Inhale, lift to the chest. Exhale, come into down. On exhale, step your right foot forward. Keep your left leg off the floor. Bring the right hand inside the right foot. Bring the right hand to the side first. Twist. Get your left shoulder forward, and then if you're comfortable, take your right arm up. Make sure that your left hand is on the floor. Left hand is on the floor, so you're twisting and looking up. And try not to collapse with the left hip. Use the back leg and go more toward the front, rotating with a neutral spine. Think of the crown of the head going, the long neck. Try not to create tension here. And on exhale, bring the hand to the floor, step into downward dog. Exhale. On inhale, look forward, come into plank. Lower yourself down. Push the floor, point the toes. Inhale, come to your version of back bend. Don't have to be high. Chin to the chest. Exhale, come into downward dog. Step in the left foot forward when you're ready. Bring the right hand inside the left foot. Use your left hand to help you to rotate. Go with the right shoulder forward. Think that you're rotating around your spine, and then take your left arm up. Think of the line, right palm, right shoulder, left palm. And you keep your neck as continuation of the spine. Don't collapse. collapse with the right hip. Bring the body weight to the right foot. Push the right heel away. And bring the left hand down. Come into downward dog. Exhale. So you can stay in downward dog or you go through your last vinyasa. Optional. And we'll look forward. Bend your knees. Keep your spine straight. And hop into the seat. And let's bend the knees. And let's bring the hands behind the back, just a tip of the fingers. And then lift the chest and bring your toes to the floor. So continue to lift the chest. You can bend your elbows to lean back, and then you roll to the back of the sitting bone. Don't round. You look up, lifting the chest, and you bring your straight legs. And you're welcome to hold here, or while you're lifting the chest, you walk your hands forward, lifting the chest, and you bring your arms on the both sides. If it's not happening, keep having the support. Keep your legs. I want to work a bit on the leg strength here. So a little bit different variation. So we start holding the legs, but having support on the back. And let's release. So let's bring the soles of the feet together, fold forward. We'll go one more time through this. So let's bring the toes to the floor, lean back, bring the hands behind, lift. So it's like you want to push yourself up and roll to the back and take your legs up. So fine, you need to use your quadriceps here. That's the issue. And lift the chest. And if you can hold with the straight legs, walk your hands forward and then bring the hands to the side of the knees with a lift in the chest. So try a bit variation with the straight legs. And again, bring the soles of the feet together, fold forward. Exhale. And let's come into other sitting position, and we'll transfer the seated position into the pigeon. So you will have your right ankle in front, and then you will slide the left leg back, squaring the hips. If you need to roll off the floor with the right hip, use the block to support, and then you will fall forward. Any support you're using, if you don't have, wait for me. I'll find it for you. Just allow yourself to rest. Take a couple of long exhales. All the strength part, all the young part of practice is done. So you want to let go of all this muscle engagement that you needed. And you would like to surrender to the asana. You're scanning your body from the toes to the crown of the head. And note if you're not resisting to the asana. Check your shoulders, check your back, check your neck. Relax your belly. front. Just shake the leg. Circle your ankles. And we'll find the other side. Bend the left knee. And correcting the back, the right leg back. Making sure your knee is safe. Then you would like to rotate into the left hip to take the right hip forward. So hips and shoulders are squared to the front. And then we will find the way to the left. Scan your body on this side and note if this is your tighter side or you're more comfortable with that. Balancing. We'll bend the right knee into deer leg pose so that right ankle is parallel to the long side, and try to bring your ankle straight and have your right hip on the floor, bring the right hand and the left arm in front, just collapse to the right. So going to the right, everybody. So all the way to the right. Drop the head. Feel the rotation. You have to be on the other side. The right on the left, yes. Then just like yes. Drop the hip. It might be uncomfortable. You can feel this friction. The internal rotation very often is restricted, so just be where you need to be. And here, 5 breaths. This is only their counter pose for their external rotation. Come all the way up and we'll change. So you will have your left knee bent. And you will bring all the way to the left brain there. Left hand to support. And drop the head. And long stretch on the right side of the torso. Lie on the back, width of the feet for the bridge pose. Having the arms on the both sides of the hips. I'm going to start with a regular bridge and you're welcome to progress to the full wheel if this is in your practice. So we're coming into the young variation if we want to. If you want to be complete in, you can have the block under the hips. So when you're ready, take your hips up. And trying to find the glutes and hamstring working here. You're going against the gravity, pushing the hips up. Keeping shoulders down, having the forearms pressed to the floor. Having 5 breaths here. And coming all the way down. So you're welcome to go to the next variation with the interlaced hands under the hips and bringing shoulders, elbows together, or you can go to the full wheel. So when you're ready, push the floor and inhale, reach up. You can go to the variation of your choice, if this is in your practice, or just have the hips up. Coming back with the hips down. Bring your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. Here again is your option. You can stay in and have just support under the hips, have a bolster under your hips, a block under the hips, and take your legs up. You're welcome to progress to the shoulder stand, or if you like, you can go to the full headstand if you would like to. If you are in a full shoulder stand, keep your neck long, have your support on the back of the head and on the shoulders. You're welcome to be in the restorative position. If this is your practice, just where you need to be right now. You can just rock from side to side. If you were on the bolster, you practice the fish pose. If you were on the shoulder stand, you practice the child pose. If you are in the headstand. And then we'll take the arms in T position and drop the knees to the right. Relax your left arm. You're welcome to go deeper position if you feel so. Here, 3 more breaths. Come back to the center, realign your shoulders and hips, and drop the knees to the opposite. Yourself with blanket. If you're using the bolster under the bent knees, you're welcome to use the bolster. Long exhale. Settle yourself in the space of your mat. Settle yourself in the moment. Allow your practice to fold into the observation of your body, observation of your mind, observation of the breath. Scan your body and notice that you're not holding any muscle contraction right now in the body that we needed so much for the young part. Allow yourself to melt toward the ground. Like you did